Sometimes it feels like you're drowning in information, right? Trying to sort through everything just to find those real gems of insight.
Absolutely. It's tough to cut through the noise.
Well, that's what we try to do here on the Deep Dive.
Mm.
And today we're jumping into something fundamental. Powerful communication.
A huge topic. And relevant everywhere, not just in one specific area.
Exactly. Our main insights today actually come from the direct selling world, specifically from Mr. Prem Kumar. He's a Royal Black Diamond Ambassador with Indus Viva.
And his credentials, well, they speak for themselves. Highest earner there apparently drives a Lamborghini he earned through the business.
Yeah, completed 14 out of 16 top ranks, built a massive network. They even called him a central energy hub at this big event in Thailand with like 1,800 franchisees.
So definitely someone who knows a thing or two about connecting with people.
Right. So our mission, really, is to pull out the practical, actionable stuff he talks about regarding communication. He's got this very motivational style, big focus on mindset, uses great examples. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's really interesting, I think, is how these principles, even though they're from direct selling, they really do apply much more broadly. They touch on basic truths about, how we interact effectively.
So Mr. Kumar starts off pretty strong. He says communication isn't just important direct selling, it's the vital topic, especially how you communicate after you get into the business.
Right, not just getting people in, but what happens next.
Exactly. He says you need to be very, very sharp with your team.
Yeah.
So it's more than just passing along info, isn't it? What's his deeper take on this leader role?
Well, he uses this really powerful metaphor. He says, the individual leader, you, become the bridge for communication.
A bridge.
Yeah, you're connecting information from your seniors, from the company's education system, from the company itself, and bringing it all clearly to your team. You're the critical link.
Oh, right.
And he takes it further. He actually says you need to become the chief communication officer, the CCO, like a CEO, but for communication, taking full ownership.
CCO. That implies a lot of responsibility.
It does. And to show the kind of strength needed, he uses this analogy from, I think it was a viral video, of the Chenab Bridge.
Oh, the one in the Himalayas.
That's the one. World's longest bridge of its type. An engineering marvel, built incredibly strong, designed to withstand earthquakes, apparently.
Wow.
And his point is, your communication bridge needs to be that strong, that resilient, able to handle pressure and connect people effectively no matter what.
An earthquake-proof communication bridge. That's quite an image.
Yeah.
That makes you think about, the strength of your own connections.
For sure.
So then he shifts focus a bit to listening, the foundation, he calls it. Focused listening.
Yeah, this is a big one for him.
He talks about his own experience,
Yeah.
how he considered himself the best student of his mentor. He took meticulous notes years ago, captured every detail in meetings, and he still has those notes.
Incredible discipline.
Right. And he connects that directly to his success. He says, no one becomes a royal black diamond so easily. Becoming a diamond is not child's play. It takes that kind of focus.
That's right. And he really drills down on the danger of unfocused listening. If you hear A, but maybe you only understand B.
And then you tell your team C. Yeah, I can see how that breaks down fast.
Exactly. He actually claims that over 90% of people he meets have a listening problem. Not physically, not deafness.
Not like a mental block.
He calls it a software problem, where ego gets in the way of truly hearing what's being said. It's a common bug, you might say.
A software bug. That's relatable, so what's his fix?
It's pretty radical, actually. He says most people talk 80–90% of the time and listen maybe 10–20%. He says flip it.
Flip it, so listen 80%.
Listen 80%, talk 20%. He calls that the game changer. And it's not just about being polite, it's strategic. It's about understanding what's really going on, the hidden objections the market needs. That's how you find real solutions. Critical in any people-focused business.
And he gives an example of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's communication style. Just as an illustration, mind you, not politically, just about the impact of effective communication.
Precisely. It's about observing the skill itself. And this ties into his broader point. Great leaders are great listeners.
Makes sense.
He even mentions Ratan Tata, apparently known for really listening, even to junior people. The idea is, if you're an entrepreneur, you solve problems. To solve problems, you first have to understand them, and that starts with listening. That's how you win hearts, build trust.
Okay, so being a strong bridge and then being an 80% listener.
Yeah.
What comes next?
Alignment, the necessity of alignment in communication.
Alignment. Okay.
And he's got another fantastic analogy for this one, computerized car wheel alignment.
Oh, yeah. How does that work?
Well, you drive around, hit potholes, stuff like that. It messes up your car's wheel alignment.
Right. Happens all the time.
And that hurts performance, lowers your mileage, costs you more in maintenance. But, he says, get the alignment done right.
Yeah.
And your tires can last way longer, maybe 6 or 7 years instead of just 4. It's about efficiency and longevity.
Okay. I see the car part.
Mm-hmm.
How does that connect to communication?
He applies it directly. Your communication needs to be perfectly aligned. Aligned with the company, in his case, Indus Viva. Aligned with their education system, Vibrant Viva. Aligned with the line of sponsorship, the LOS. Everything needs to point in the same direction.
So no mixed messages.
Exactly. He gives a simple example. Confusing Arunachal Pradesh with Andhra Pradesh. They sound a bit similar.
They're totally different places in India, right? Northeast versus south?
Totally different. And that kind of small misalignment can cause huge confusion, especially, as he puts it, in a market like India, which he calls one of the toughest, most challenging environments out there. Small errors have big consequences.
Wow. Okay, so alignment is key to avoid confusion.
And it gets even more interesting. He has this other analogy. He compares people to fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners?
Yeah.
Seriously?
He says if people don't have a solid stand, which comes from that clear alignment, then all the negativity out in the market just twists them around. They get confused easily.
So without alignment, you just spin around, reacting to everything. Like you don't have your own core direction.
Exactly that. It highlights how vulnerable you are to, external noise and negativity if you don't have that clear internal compass, which you build through being aligned with your organization's core message and direction. It's about clarity, unwavering clarity.
Okay, bridge, listener, alignment.
Hmm.
This leads us somewhere practical, right? Like, what's the point of all this in direct selling?
Right. It leads to the fundamental purpose, as Mr. Kumar sees it, which is basically you get paid to convert no into yes.
Convert no to yes. That's pretty direct.
It is. And he's very realistic about it. He says, forget about some golden age where people are lining up to join you. That's never going to happen.
Ouch. So people will stay confused, maybe negative.
That's his view. People will remain confused and negative about the industry. That's the reality you face.
So what do? Just accept it?
No, you embrace the challenge. He stresses the need for courage, for one-on-one combat in the market. He calls it a serious battle of words to convince people.
Combat, a battle. That sounds intense.
It does. He uses another analogy here, gold. You know how gold is tested?
By rubbing it or fire, right, to prove it's real.
Exactly. To prove its authenticity, make it shine. He says, similarly, if you want to be real and shine in this business, you have to engage in the market. You have to face the tests.
So you can't hide from the nose.
You can't. His advice is really strong here. The market is your best gym.
The market is your gym. I like that.
Yeah. Go there to get strong. He contrasts it with rotting at home, drinking Nimbu Pani or Am Panna, which for anyone listening outside India are just nice, refreshing drinks. His point is don't just relax at home. Get out there.
And this isn't just sales tactics, is it? It feels broader. Like any situation where you need to persuade someone.
I think so. A project proposal, a team decision, getting buy-in for an idea. It's about engaging with resistance, understanding it, and finding a way through. It's about building that persuasive muscle.
He even talks about his own early days, right? Doing session after session.
Yeah, he mentions being so caught up in back-to-back one-on-one sessions that he'd lose track of time. It reinforces that idea. Consistent presence, consistent engagement in the gym, that's what builds strength, real dedication.
That really does stand up.
And he wraps up this part with a really important point for today's world. He acknowledges digital marketing, all the online tools. Says they're useful, they're additional tools, but the essential thing in a people industry, which is actually meeting and talking to people.
That doesn't go away.
It will not go out of fashion now, nor after 100 years. That human connection, the direct interaction, that remains core. Technology helps, sure, but it doesn't replace the fundamental need to connect human to human when you're trying to persuade or build trust.
Okay, wow. That's a lot to take in. So let's quickly recap the big takeaways from Mr. Kumar's communication insights. First, be that strong, earthquake-proof communication bridge.
Right. Solid and reliable.
Second, really work on that focused listening. Remember the 80-20 rule, and watch out for that ego software bug.
Spot on. Listen more than you talk.
Third, alignment is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Get aligned with your company, your system, your leadership. Avoid being a fidget spinner.
Crucial for clarity and resisting negativity.
And finally, embrace the market as your best gym. Get out there for that one-on-one combat to turn those no's into yes.
Yeah, see the challenge as the training ground.
It's a powerful framework.
It really is. And, if we zoom out for a second, think about how these principles, sharp communication, aligned messaging, persistent engagement, truly listening, how they play out beyond just business.
How so?
Well, imagine applying this level of focused listening and clear, aligned communication in your personal relationships. Think about forging those connections in the gym of real-world, sometimes difficult interactions. How might truly listening, especially when you disagree with someone, actually unlock new possibilities? Build stronger connections, maybe more resilient ones in your own life.
It's a really interesting thought to leave people with, how deep listening and clear communication, even when it's tough, could change things personally, too.
Something to consider, definitely.
Powerful stuff. We really hope you take these insights and think about how they apply to your own communication journey. These principles, they really do feel universal.